सहितं नमामि। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु दुर्गारूपनाम संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु लक्ष्मीरूपनाम संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु सरस्वतीरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपनाम संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः। नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः। शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शिवनंदन गणपति गणेश गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री 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 गणेश। शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शिवानंदन गणपति गणेश शिवानंदन गणपति गणेश गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश। शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शिवानंदन गणपति गणेश शिवानंदन गणपति गणेश। हे मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे हे मोरिया 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 रे मोरिया 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 रे परमेश्वर जय विश्व शक्ति, जय परमेश्वर जय विश्व शक्ति। अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा, अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा। माता माता हे जगमाता, माता माता हे जगमाता। जय परमेश्वर जय विश्व माता, जय परमेश्वर जय विश्व। अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा, अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा। अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा, अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा। अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा, अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा। सर्वमंगल मंगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके, शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। जय जय देवी अम्ब भवानी माता। जय जय देवी अम्ब भवानी माता। जय जय देवी अम्ब भवानी माता, अम्ब भवानी माता। अम्ब भवानी माता, अम्ब भवानी माता। अम्ब भवानी माता। जय जय देवी अम्ब भवानी माता। हाथ जोड़कर तेरे चरणों में ले लो मेरा सलाम। हाथ जोड़कर तेरे चरणों में ले लो मेरा सलाम। ले लो मेरा सलाम। जय जगदीश्वर त्रिशूलधारिणी माता। जय जगदीश्वर त्रिशूलधारिणी माता। त्रिशूलधारी माता, त्रिशूलधारी माता। त्रिशूलधारी माता। जय जय देवी अम्ब भवानी माता। करुणा सागर जगत पालनी जय जगदननी माता जय जगदननी माता जय जगदननी माता जय जगदननी माता जय जय देवी अम्ब भवानी माता तू ऋषियों की रिद्धि से दी तू ब्रह्मा की भक्ति मां तू विष्णु की माया देवी तू शंकर की शक्ति मां तू ऋषियों की रिद्धि से दी तू ब्रह्मा की भक्ति मां तू विष्णु की माया देवी तू शंकर की शक्ति मां तू हाथों से कागज गारे बागी बागी आती है माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी कितना प्यार जगाती है तू काली महाकाली दुर्गा तू ही बाल भवानी माँ तू पुराण का तार शारदा तू वेदों की वाणी है तू बालक को गोद में लेकर जीवन गीत सुनाती है जय जगदीश्वरी अम्ब भवानी माता अम्ब भवानी माता अम्ब भवानी माता अम्ब भवानी माता जय जय देवी अम्ब भवानी माता अम्ब भवानी माता अम्ब भवानी माता
Mata Ki Jai. Children of God, Sitaram to one and all. And this evening was a wonderful celebration in this Navraatri of the month of Chait. And this is the Navraatri which welcomes the spring season. And this evening is the Ashtami Tithi. As I tell to you, this has great benefits according to the Devi Purana, that any offerings made today, if you did miss all the other days and today you make the offering, it is very auspicious and it will help for the days that you have missed. So we had our individual puja. Again, I want to invite you all to come along and join with us as we prepare for that next Navratri. We are always, not only waiting for when the special 9 days come and then we do devotion. No, we go to devotion right through, and so we are seeing everybody having some benefit materially and spiritually. Let us all have invocation this evening as I bring to you a short discourse again, as I said, our main focus is people and devotion. Om Gajananam Bhutaganadesevitam Kapeta Jambho Palisar Bhakshanam Umasutam Shokavinashikarkam Namami Viganeshwar Parapankajam Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Saraswati Rupena Sanskritam Namastasye 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 Namo Namah Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaram Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Nagendrahara Trilochanayam Bhashmangragaya Maheshwarayam Nityaya Shudaya Digambarayam Tasmai Nakaraya Namaha Shivayam Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Durga Rupena Sanskritam Namastasye 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 Namo Namah Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Lakshmi Rupena Sanskritam Namastasye 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 Namo Namah Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Saraswati Rupena Sanskritam Namastasye 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 Namo Namah Feel the peace of the Divine Mother. Om Sarvamangale Mangale Shive Sarvayarti Shadike Sharanye Trayambike Gauri Narayani Namostute Gauri Narayani Namostute Gauri Narayani Namostute Sharanye Trayambike Gauri Narayani Namostute Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishabahe Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Prem se bole Sri Adi Shakti Devi Durga Mata ki Jai Jai Devi Jai Jai Mam Jai Jagadamba Bhavani Ma Ambe Bhavani Mata Ambe Bhavani Ambe Bhavani Mata Ambe Bhavani Jai 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 Jagadamba Bhavani Jai Jai Jagadamba Bhavani Jai 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 Jagadamba Bhavani Jai 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 Jagadamba Bhavani Jai Jai Devi Jai Jai Ma Jai Jagadamba Bhavani Ma Shri Bhagavan bole He Sureshwari मैं तुम्हारे तात आप अपने दोनों के वचन सत्या सिद्धि करूंगा काम लेक्षणे सुनो मैं तुम तीनों में समाप्त कर धुआं जय जय देवी जय जय मां जय जगदम्बा भवानी मां ये सरस्वती अपनी काल के एक अंश से नशे रूपम होकर भराट वर्ष में जयं आगे अंश से ब्रह्मा के भवन जया और पूर्वाम अंग शासे स्वयं मेरे पास रहे। इसी प्रकार भगीरथ के ढूरले जय गए गंगा तीनों लोक को पवित्र करने के लिए। जय जय देवी जय जय मां, आपने कलंश से भरत वर्ष में जयन गे और स्वयं पूर्ण अंश से मेरे भवन में रहे वहीं पर चंद्रशेखर शिव के धुरलम मस्तका को प्राप्त कर रेगी वह जाने पर स्वर भवत पवित्र ये गंगा और भी पवित्र हो जयंगी। हे वामलोक चन में तुम आपने कल के अनसंसा से प्रथमवती नाम का नाधिक के रूप में तात तुलसी नाम का भृंग से रूप में भारत वर्ष जय 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 देवी जय जय मां जय जगदम्बा भवानी अम्बे भवानी माता अम्बे भवानी माता अम्बे So devotees and friends, Bhagwan Narayan continued to explain as Lakshmi Mata requested from him. She says, "O gracious Lord, tell to us how long will we have to stay on this earth?" Because remember, my dear friends, Ganga, Saraswati, Lakshmi, they are all celestial beings, not so? But now they have to come and spend time here on earth. How will they maintain their celestial status and yet still come and serve here on the earth? So Lakshmi Devi is asking of her Lord Hari. And Sri Hari says, "Oh my dear Devi," says, "listen, I will now tell to you as it is." He says, Saraswati will go on one part onto the earth as the river. And yesterday I talked about all the benefits which comes from the Saraswati, not so? So I hope you all remember that. So he says in one part of the full Shakti, so it's not full Shakti coming down here on the earth, you know. So my dear friends, we have to be very, very careful when we use this word Shakti. You understand? We have to be very careful. Because if in that time of the Satyug, the Divine Mother, the Divine Lord is saying that the Mother will come down here in a part. So Saraswati will come down in part, manifestation, as the river. And her other part will remain with Brahma. So now you will understand Why the same Saraswati is with Brahma and the same Saraswati is down here as that holy river. And he says again, oh my dear beloved, he says, Saraswati in her one part will take the form of the river, and her other half will be part of Brahma. So my dear friends, and so Ganga, he reiterate again her duty here, she will be able to lift people out of their sufferings and bring them up to Vaikuntha, bring them to heaven. Says also Ganga will have to go down to Bharat Desh, and Ganga will be purifying the three worlds. Ganga will purify the three worlds. And so, my dear friends, she will have one of her part as she will be invited down to the earth by a great sage by the name of Bhagirath. And Bhagirath will bring her, and she will be able now to go into the jata of that Chandrasekhar Shiva. So it's not any one of the Shiva have the Ganga flowing from the jata. The Chandrasekhar Shiva. The Chandrasekhar Shiva is that one where he have the crescent moon on his head. And so, my dear friends, we all know the quality of the moon, which is calm and soothing. So when the Ganga comes, she will reside there on the jata of Lord Shiva, her one part, and one part will come down as the river. So you see, they are remaining with their celestial status. They are not losing their celestial status as they come down here on earth. It is only we as human beings, when we come down here, we lose our celestial status. All of us are celestial beings. All of us are great souls. But when we come here and we intermingle with this world of the Maya and illusion, we get lost in the illusion, and so we lose our spiritual status. And that is why we have satsang, that is why we have yajnas, that is why we have the tapas, that is why we, all this, my dear friends, that we are trying, and all the other pundits and other devotees are trying to put together, all great activities, is to help you and I now, who have lost our way in this world of illusion and have forgotten that we are spiritual beings, that we are celestial beings. We have all forgotten that we are celestial beings. I want to remind you tonight, my dear friends, all of you are celestial beings. All the people who you interact with as you go around your day-to-day life, they also are celestial beings. But because we have been lost into this world of illusion and this Maya, we forget that. We lose sight of that. So, my dear friends, Ganga didn't lose sight. Saraswati didn't lose sight. So he told to her, he says, one part will remain with the Chandrasekhar, that Mahadev with the crescent moon on his forehead. So, my dear friends, and there they will obtain with great difficulties, and so will remain there purer than her natural pure state. So you see, when Ganga comes through with the call of Bhagirath, through Chandrasekhar Mahadeva, she becomes purer than her natural state also. Prem se bole Shri Ramchandra Bhagavan ki. And let her remain with me in full parts. O Padma, O lovely-eyed one, you are most innocent, because Lakshmi, my dear friends, didn't do anything to deserve what she get. She went to make peace. But sometimes the peacemakers had to take a hand in the middle of it to stop the fight. While the peacemaker is trying to keep this one on that side and that one on that side, and the hand fighting in the middle, Sometimes both hands strike the peacemaker. Isn't that true? So Lakshmi was the peacemaker in the lot. And here, my dear friends, Bhagwan Hari recognized her for what the part that she played. And he told to her, he says, "Oh, Padme, calamities are caused of the happiness of the embodied beings. Without danger, no one cannot understand the true nature of happiness. Without danger," this is Lord Vishnu saying, without danger, no one can understand the true nature of happiness. You see, my dear friends, we continue to do all of these things. You continue to live the worldly life, but the only time you really know the trueness and the happiness and that bliss which comes from devotional service is when you actually take your hand and you do it. Kabir Das has a wonderful bhajan. I don't know it. One day I'll learn it. But in the bhajan he says, you could never understand the taste of sugar until you actually taste the sugar. I can tell to you how much sugar is sweet. Sugar is sweet. Sugar is sweet. But not until you taste the sugar will you know what that sweetness is. So too, my dear friends, it is not until when you experience the divine bliss, it is only then will you understand that. But then tell me, we do get the divine bliss again and again, and yet still we take ourselves and we go back, my dear friends, into that bitter part, the bitter part of the world, hanging on and holding on to it. So he says, "O Padma, you will become Padmavati the river, and you will be the Tulsi tree. After the expiry of 5,000 years in the Kali age, your curse will expire, and you will come back to my abode." And so, devotees and friends, he says here, and he's telling now, says, you will become the Tulsi plant, and bhaktas, devotees, all the sacred places of pilgrimage in the world will be purified for uplifting and sanctifying the body, the holy earth. The mantra shakas, that is the Saivas. The Saivas, my dear friends, are those who worship Lord Shiva. He said the Ganapatyas, the Vaishnavas, everyone you will be able to uplift. And the devotees of Brahma, all are residing in Bharatdesh. He say, and oh, you as the Tulsi plant and as that Padmavati river will be able to purify and sanctify all of them. So my dear friends, the Ganapatyas are not left out. I don't know how on their earth our people, our Ganapatyas here are leaving out Tulsi Devi. I don't know. So he says, those who do not perform the vow of Ekadasi or who do not perform Sandhya, he says, you as the Tulsi plant will be able to lift those devotees and bring them to the higher ground. So my dear friends, so he says here, my devotees are here and you trusted with you, they will be freed from their sins. And so again she asked, my dear Lord, how will I recognize your bhaktas? It says, at that very moment of being born in this to the world, 100 generation back of that person, whether they be at the time in heaven or in hell, they would be seeking out for liberation And if any of them happen to be born, then the jivas, they become liberated at once while living in that finally Vishnu Padam at the feet of Bhagwan Vishnu. He says, the mortal is my bhakta, who is full of devotion to me. And this he starts now telling how to recognize a bhakta. That bhakta will be full of devotion towards my lotus-like feet, who will always repeat my glories. So the glories, when you continue to repeat the glories of the teachings of the Lord, that is the bhakta. And so, my dear friends, he says, my direction will be in their heart, and their mind will dance with joy, and their voice will get choked in when they listen to my words. Prem se bole Shri Ramchandra Bhagwan ki jai. Devotees and friends, most of all he tell to her, he said, these characteristics of the bhaktas should not be given to those who will not want to listen. And he says again, he says that my bhaktas do not long for happiness. My bhaktas do not long for happiness. They do not long for salvation. They do not long to reach into Satyug. But they do not long for Brahmahood. They do not long to become a deva. But my devotees, my bhaktas, they want only to do one thing and one thing alone, and that is what? Somebody. A devotee of Bhagwan Vishnu is saying they do not want happiness, they do not want mukti, they do not want the 4 stages, they do not, all of that. They don't want a heaven, but they only want one thing. Rajiv, what do you think is that one thing the bhaktas want? Ash, what do you think is the one thing the bhaktas want, the devotees? Nirav, what do you think is the one thing that the bhaktas want? Candy. Not really. Dharam ki awaj sabha. Seva. All they want, my dear friends, is to perform seva for the Lord. All they want to do is to perform seva for the Lord, to be of service to Bhagwan. Everybody doing everything after COVID for more than a year and a half, 2 years now. But COVID only becomes, my dear friends, an issue. COVID becomes something when you have to come to the satsang. You're going in all the malls and everything else. And when you come to the satsang, if it don't have the purifying thing outside, they're making big comment about it. Well, we have it here too, and yet still they're not coming. Prem se bole Shri Ramchandra Bhagwan ki. But my dear friends, the true bhakta, the true devotee, finds every opportunity to be of service to God. Where will you find God? He says, see me into every place and see me into everything. Prem se bole Shri Ramchandra Bhagwan ki jai. So my dear friends, I now continue with the katha, and I'm leaving chapter 7 of book 9, and I'm going to chapter 23 of book 9 to carry you straight to this katha of Tulsi, as I promised you last evening. Prem se bole Shri Ramchandra Bhagwan ki jai, Adi Shakti Devi Durga Mata ki jai. जय जय देवी जय जय मां जय जगदम्बा अम्बे भवानी माता अम्बे भवानी अम्बे भवानी माता अम्बे भवानी
जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी
जय जय देवी जय जय मां जय जगदम्बा भवानी मां। हे नारद भगवान शंकर ने संपूर्ण ब्रह्मांडा का संहार करने में समरथ उस त्रिशूल को आपने लीला से हाथ पर संभाल कर शंखचूड़ पर पेका दिया। जय जय देवी जय जय मां जय जगदम्बा भवानी मां। तब सभी रहस्यां समझाकर राजा शंकर भूते आपन धनुष त्याग कर तथा बुद्धि पूर्वक काम योग जय जय देवी मां लगा कर भक्ति के साथ श्री कृष्णा के चरण का मल का ध्यान करने लगा। जय जय देवी जय जय मां
जय जगदम्बा भवानी मां।
अम्बे भवानी माता अम्बे भवानी अम्बे भवानी माता अम्बे भवानी
जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी।
So we all heard about that katha where Lakshmi took the form of the beautiful woman they called Tulsi. And when she was passing on the bank of the Ganga and she saw Ganesha, and there is a katha which states that he told her that he will marry her and so on, and he told to her, go, you will have to marry the demon. You know? Say, I would not marry you, you have to go and marry a demon. I'll never accept you. You go marry the demon. Because, my dear friends, when we did the very first night, of discussion, when we talked about how the Devis came and the five form came, how did the Katha introduce the Durga? The Katha introduced the Katha not just as Durga, but they introduced the Durga into the Katha as the mother of Ganesha, which tells to us that Ganesha was there from the very beginning. My dear friends, Ganesha is not something come halfway through. He just manifests halfway through to please Parvati. Prem se bole Shri Ramchandra Bhagavan ki. So my dear friends, he knew that she had to marry the Shankachud, and he knew that that was Lakshmi. He knew that Shankachud was that part of Lord Vishnu who was Sudama Brahmin and who had to come down on the earth because of his discussion and his little conflict with Radha. Prem se bole Shri Ramchandra Bhagavan ki jai. So, my dear friends, it tells us Shiva and Shankachud fight for 100 years. Why they were always and nobody could not have killed Shankachud? Because Shankachud had married to Lakshmi. Shankachud, from the time he came down as the demon on the earth, my dear friends, and Vishnu Bhagwan will say it later, but I'll tell you up front, so that you will understand. Shankachud, from the time he came down on the earth, he knew to redeem himself from his demon form, he had to marry Tulsi. So he was praying for her all the time to come so that he can marry to her. Now that he married her, my dear friends, Tulsi was so pure and she was so loyal to her husband that she always had him in her heart. And because she was so pure and she always had Shankachud in her heart, nobody could have destroyed him. Nobody. And there, my dear friends, Lord Vishnu came and he took that form, and he asked of Shankachud. There was a kavach, an armlet, the kavach, an armlet. This kavach was an armlet with all the beautiful writings on it, and that was on the arm of Shankachud, and that was protecting Shankachud. And so, my dear friends, Lord Vishnu in his disguise form came, my dear friends, and he requested from Shankachud that armlet from on his hands. And so when he gave it to him, then he put on the armlet, and he took the form of Shankachud and went to Tulsi. And when Tulsi said, "Oh, my dear husband, how are you back so quick?" He told her, he says that the Devas submitted, and so I did not have to fight anymore. And so, my dear friend, she relaxed her mind. And the moment she relaxed her mind, that was the moment that Bhagwan Shiva took the Trishul and he sent it through the heart of Shankachud. When Shankachud fell on the battlefield, my dear friends, what happened? It says the bells and the sunk and all the devatas from the heavens started to shower down flowers, and the bells were ringing and the shank was, blowing out in victory to the glory of that Lord. My dear friends, for here one who have lost his way because of, my dear friends, trying to protect the harsh words going to the Lord, came down to earth, has now regained his status. And it says Shankachud in his original form bow down, like you remember how Hanuman, the description they give, you remember how Hanuman is be in front of Sri Ram with one knee uplift and the next one. So he was in that similar form at the feet of Bhagwan Shiva, thanking him very much. On the next side here, my dear friends, when Tulsi realized that Lord Vishnu had played a trick on her and her husband is dead, she told to Vishnu Bhagwan, she said, you have a heart of stone and you will have to become a mountain. You have heart like a stone and you have to become a mountain. And then he told to her, he says, Tulsi, Shankachud prayed to you for hundreds of years so that you can marry him, so that he can gain salvation. He said, you have been praying to get back up to your status also in Vaikunt at the side of Bhagwan Krishna. He says, and now the opportunity, I am here. And when she realized what have happened and the whole Leela, my dear friends, she have already given him the curse that he have to become a mountain. And so she told to him, says, you will become a mountain. In Shiv Puran there is a greater detailed account of it. He says, you will become a mountain in the river Ganga. And when all the cuttings should take place and it fall into the Ganga, once it does not turn yellow, that would be the saligram. He says, and I will always be there to shelter the salagram. So I will be at your side. So anywhere you see, my dear friends, the salagram, you will see a tulsi plant just above. So the salagram takes its seat at the root of the tulsi plant. Purity and purity. It tells to us in the month of Kartik, if one collects those fallen leaf of the tulsi, you don't go in and pick the leaf, You stay there and you collect the fallen leaf, the leaves that fall from the tulsi, especially on the full moon day of Kartik, and you offer that to the salagram. He said that is compared as 100 Gaudan. That is compared as 100 Gaudan. I now see, my dear friends, a lot of people, when they're giving the siddha for, loved ones who have died, they're making sure they put a tulsi plant. But that is not just all. You have to collect the tulsi leaves and do the salagram puja. The puja is the most important thing. My dear friends, this is the reason why we have started again our monthly katha, where we pray to Vishnu Bhagwan. We have to continue to do things. So Bhagwan Vishnu tells to us, he tells to Lakshmi Devi, he says, the devotee, you will be able to recognize the devotee of mine, because the devotee of mine will get my mantra through the air. And this is why when you are initiated, the Guru hold your ears. It's not that he want to pull your ears and, when Sir them hold, Sir, the school teacher here, when he hold your ears in school, it means you're playing bad. Not so? How much time they hold your ears in school when you were small, Ravi? Plenty time. And why they hold it? Because you're turning over the school upside down. But my dear friends, when the Guru hold your ears, that is why this mantra becomes the popular Guru mantra in this age. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That is the mantra of Bhagwan Vishnu. If you look somewhere down in Balkan also, or Balkan or Ayodhya Khan, one out of the two, you'd see the Tulsidas you also recommend. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya to be given through the medium of the air, so that you will continue to recite. All this is given here in this katha. But my dear friends, when all this was said and done, and Tulsi and Vishnu Bhagwan came to their, she had the mercy and son of him. So my dear friends, he then told to her, I hope I get it here now, because I have to skip quite a lot, Prem se bole Shri Tulsi Mata ki Jai. Prem se bole Shri Adi Shakti Devi Durga Mata ki. So devotees and friends, it says the salagram. The salagram, when you take this, they say the bones of Shankachur all turn into conchs. And he says if you get one of those conch shell from India, from the Ganga there, around that battlefield, it says, and you pour water into the conchs and you throw it upon the Tulsi plant and Lord Krishna, it brings so much blessings once you offer it with love. So the dhar also can be offered through the shank on the Tulsi plant and the salagram. Prem se bole Shri Ramchandra Bhagavan ki Jai. So devotees and friends, tomorrow, I'll give you the exact, not tomorrow, on Friday, I'll give you the exact verses. But I'll tell you it tonight. I'll quote it for you on Friday. But the verse, the chapter to continue. Come there, Camille. Just hand me that bomb up there. No, the big one. So the katha continues, my dear friends, where Vishnu Bhagwan then told to Tulsi to give up this body, to give up the body that she had at that moment, because he says that body had too much of problems and too much of difficulties. He says, and you will become, the hair from your body will become the Tulsi plant, and your body itself will become the river Padmavati. So it says here that that Tulsi plant will become the best among all the flowers. And he says here, all, in making the research, I came up with, it says all in the three worlds will be able to worship you. Principal Shri Adi Shakti Devi Durga Mata Ki. I know time is running. It's now 9:11. Oh, we still have a few minutes. Just hand me my tablet there, please. I don't want to leave you all hanging this evening. But my dear friends, Lord Vishnu told to Tulsi to give up the body and become the tree, and all Tulsi plant will become the best flowers in the whole world. Prem se bole Shri Ramchandra Bhagavan ki jai. So she's still telling him here how he had to become this stone. Right. So between verses 28 to 102 of book 9, chapter 25, 24, it tells to us here, he said, now quit your body. Now quit this body and assume the divine body and marry to me. So this is Vishnu Bhagwan talking. Marry me. Be like Lakshmi. This body of yours will be known by the name of Gandaki, a very virtuous and pure river in this holy land of Bharatdesh. Your hair will be turned into sacred trees, and as they will be born of you, you will be known by the name of Tulsi. Just because the trees are born out of the hair of Tulsi Devi, it says the flowers, that flower plant will now be known as the Tulsi. This is Vishnu Bhagwan speaking. Therefore, O fair-faced one, this Tulsi will be reckoned as the chief among all flowers and leaves in heaven, in earth, and the nether regions. And before me, region of Goloka, on the bank of the river, Viraj is the rust circle, the forest of Bandira forest. And so he started to describe all the places that she would reside. And then he says, all the Tirat will reside at the bottom of the Tulsi tree. All the Tirat. It has specified that one should be there and one should not. All the Tirats will be at the bottom of the Tulsi tree, and so religious merit will occur to all. O fair-faced one, there I and all the devas will wait in expectation of the falling of a Tulsi leaf. Now we just go pick the leaf, but my dear friends, by the right thing is under that Tulsi tree that you want the Tulsi leaf to do the puja. You spread a nice white cloth and collect the leaves that have fallen. It says that I and all the this is Vishnu Bhagwan speaking. I and all the devatas, we will be waiting here for the fallen leaves. How wonderful, my dear friends. It is telling to us. They will be waiting in expectation. Anybody who will initiate and install with the Tulsi leaves water will get all the fruits of being initiated in all the sacrifices. Whatever pleasure Hari gets when thousands and thousands of jars filled with water are offered to him, the same pleasure will get when one Tulsi leaf will be offered to him. That is why you just take the Tulsi leaf and put it in the Ganga Jal when you go in and do your little puja and so on. So it says, if those you offer thousands of jars of water to Vishnu Bhagwan, you offer one Tulsi leaf to Vishnu Bhagwan, and that will be compensating for that amount. Prem se bole Shri Ramchandra Bhagwan ki. It says, whatever pleasure Hari gets, right, I don't tell you that. He will get when one Tulsi leaf is being offered to him. Whatever fruits are acquired by giving 100 cows as present, those will also be acquired by giving Tulsi leaves, especially in the month of Kartik. Especially in the month of Kartik, one gets the fruit, same as above mentioned. If one drinks or get the Tulsi leaf water, at that time of death, one becomes free from all sins and is worshipped in Vishnu Loka. Prem se bole Shri Ramchandra Bhagwan ki. It says, when you dedicate and you give yourself, it says, no matter what the sins, you will be able to lift yourself out of those sinful state. Prem se bole Shri Ramchandra Bhagwan ki jai. He says, you will remain as tree in the earth and will remain in Golok as the presiding deity thereof, and will enjoy daily the sports with Lord Krishna. You are very pure. In Vaikunt, you will enjoy me as Sri Ram lives with me. And as for me, I will be turned into the stone by your curse. I will remain in India close to the bank of that river, Gandaki. Millions and millions of insects will, with their sharp teeth, will take rings, and so the salagram or the sacred stone will be carved out of me. Prem se bole Shri Ramchandra Bhagwan ki jai. So devotees and friends, it continues to tell to us and show to us, my dear friends, how all offerings, Tulsi, will be there for and foremost. Go to the, and I'm telling to you, it's the same chapter that the Devi Puran have. If you go to book 9, chapter 24 and 23, 24 and 25 of the Devi Puran, you will get all this information in more detail than what I'm telling to you this evening. Prem se bole Shri Adi Shakti Devi Durga Mata ki. And this is my research, as I tell to you. If your Pandit and your Guru still tell you, listen, child, don't put the Tulsi leaf in your Parasad for Ganesha. Don't fight with your guru, because that is another sin again if you fight with your guru. But anywhere Pandit Vishnu is around, you make sure you put the tulsi leaf, because my research have shown to me through our scriptures, because what happened with Ganesh happened before she married to Shankarchud, and all these events is happening after Shankarchud died. So she had this blessing after. If Ganesha had a little fight with her, and then again, my dear friends, if you want to go to personalities now, who is Ganesha mother? Let's forget the scriptures now. Who is Ganesha mother? Ganesha mother is Parvati. Who is Lakshmi? Lakshmi and Parvati came from the same one Shakti. So Aunt Lakshmi and Parvati are sisters. So what is the relationship between Ganesh and Tulsi, who is Lakshmi Mata? We cannot forget that Tulsi is that manifestation of Lakshmi, who is the sister of his mother Parvati. Can a nephew marry the aunt? The Mausi? Tell me. You want to go personality now? If you want to go personality, take it from that way. And Ganesh must refuse marrying her. But I show you now too also from the philosophical point also, my dear friends, of this great Tulsi, who is selflessness. Praise the Lord Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavan ki. I end for tonight. Sitaram. I hope the little information and all the information I give to you, my dear friends, is not what I feel to say. It is what is in the Devi Puran. Praise the Lord Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai. Haribo, Jayo, lead with Artina. Come, people who did puja, come take up a coconut. My dear friends, I want to remind you that the people who is on the Bedis on this side will just do the arti for the devatas there. But you, we still want you to do your arti this evening. But you come in just only to the Durga Puja and to the Durga Murti. And if you want to stand up anywhere where there is a Bedi and do the arti over the Bedi, it's okay. But you're not going right through because of the settings today we had to do for the special puja. Prem Sabole Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavan ki. So bear with us. Tomorrow you will get back your opportunity to go to all the devatas and the devis. Pandit Jai will lead us in arti. But we will now all please stand. I want you to pray in your own words, whether you have coconut or not, you pray now. If you had offered a coconut by the Murti, come get your coconut in your hand too. So the arti again, I remind you, by Durga Murti and any one of the Bedis that you see here on your way. Do not walk in between. There's a few Bedis right through. You could do it over the Bedi because we have done all the invocation of Ganesh, Gauri, everybody right there on the Bedi. Let us all pray. Om Sri Krishna Krishna Sagyai Pavitya Mamasya Vidyar Pradve Sri Divala Kalipati Saptame Vaivas Manwantar Kalipatam Charane Jambu Dvipe West Indies Kande Arvat Arike Desh Antargati Trinidad Desh Hari Om Sri 56 Mapipi Road Whiteland Chetre Grami Bhautavatari Tad Parahi. Keep your names in the mind. Namayaham, family name, Parivar Namayaham. Whatever wish you have for yourself and your family, keep it now. Om Sri Parivar Namayaham Sri Dehik Devik Bhautik Tapatra Nirvamurtya Devi Grahari Shimani Madhava Ar Shakti Devi Durga Mata Ki Jai. So we have the cracking of the coconut and the arti.
Shantakaram Bhujagashwaranam Padmanaram Sudeshwaram Vishwadharam Gaganasadhisham Ekavaranam Subhagam Radha Radha गोकुल बाला राधा राधा गोकुल बाला नंद कुमारा नवनीत शोदा नंद कुमारा नवनीत शोदा राधा प्यारी श्याम गोपाला राधा राधा प्यारी श्याम गोपाला राधा प्यारी राधा राधा गोकुल बाला सर्वा मंगल मंगल्ये शिवे सर्वात साधिके शरणे त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणे नमस्तुते नारायणे नमस्तुते राधा राधा गोकुल बाला राधा राधा गोकुल बाला नंद कुमारा नवनीत शोदा नंद कुमारा नवनीत शोदा राधा प्यारी श्याम गोपाला राधे 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 गोविंदा राधे 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 गोविंदा जय राधे गोविंदा अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधो राधे गोविंदा अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधो राधे गोविंदा राधे 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 गोविंदा राधे 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 गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा जय राधे गोविंदा अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधो राधे गोविंदा अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधो नवनीत शोदा नंद कुमारा राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा राधे 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 गोविंदा 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 राधे राधे गोविंदा जय राधे गोविंदा अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधो राधे गोविंदा अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधो राधे गोविंदा नवनीत शोदा नंद कुमारा राधे गोविंदा नवनीत शोदा नंद कुमारा राधे गोविंदा
Devi Durga Mata ki. Putting the hands together, closing the physical eyes, we all pray. Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Tvameva Matam Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhum Chasika Tvameva Tvameva Vidyam Dravinam Tvamevam Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Devam Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Adi Shakti Devi Durga Mata ki Shankar Bhagwan ki Sanatan Dharma ki Om Sri Gurudevata ki Jai Jai Sitaram. All please have your seat. Arti and Prasad will come to you, and refreshment is there for you all. Again, please remain and have some refreshment. Talk and so on, and make up your mind to see if you could do this vrat from now until the next Navraatri. I think it's about 6 months.